Myself, Supriya Achpute, Assistant Professor, Government First Grade College, Davangere. Today, we discuss about the properties of homomorphism. Last sessions, we discussed about the homomorphism definitions, examples, and theorems on it. Some properties of homomorphism. Let F be a homomorphism from the group G, comma dot into the group G dash, comma star. Then, first one, f of E is equal to E dash. We have to prove f of E is equal to E dash, where E and E dash are the identity elements of the group G and G dash respectively. And f of A inverse is equal to f of A whole inverse for all A belongs to G. First, we prove the first one. Let f from G to G dash is a homomorphism. Then, for all A comma B belongs to G, f of A into B is equal to f of A star f of B. We can write like this because the function defined from dot to star. Consider f of A star E dash, that is, it doesn't changes, is equal to f of A dot E dash. We can write like this because it's just an identity element multiplied with this. We got the same result, that is f of A. Then f of A can be written as f of A into E. A into E means A only. F of A into E. F of A into E can be written using the function is a homomorphism property. F of A star E dash. That is E dash is f of E. F of E star f of E. That is f of A star E dash is equal to f of A star f of E means f of E is E dash. By cancellation law, we have f of E is equal to E dash or E dash is equal to f of E. Next, we prove the second one. We have to prove f of A inverse is equal to f of A whole inverse, right? That's why, or we can prove like this, f of A inverse into f of A whole inverse is equal to identity element. If we prove like that, look here. Consider f of A star f of A inverse, and using the definition of f is homomorphism, f of A dot A inverse. F of A dot A inverse means E. F of E is E dash. So we have got f of A star f of A inverse is equal to E dash. And f of A inverse star f of A. Consider this one. This is equal to f of A inverse into A. A inverse into A means E. F of E is E dash. So by these two property, we can write f of A star f of A inverse is equal to f of A inverse star f of A is equal to E dash. That is what we can write, f of A inverse is equal to f of A whole inverse. Next, if f is homomorphism from G to G dash, then the range f of G is equal to f of G such that for all G belongs to capital G is a subgroup of G dash. Let G to G dash, let f from G to G dash is a homomorphism from group G dash. Then the range set f of G is f of G such that G belongs to G, which is subset of the image set G dash, right? Look here. Codomain set, right? E belongs to G, set G, then f of E belongs to f of G. Therefore, f of G is a non-empty set. Considering, we have to prove this set is a subgroup. Subgroup means considering the two elements some x dash and y dash in f of G, x dash y dash whole inverse is x dash y dash inverse is belongs to f of G means we proved that f of G is a subgroup. I consider the two element x dash and y dash in f of G, then x dash and y dash belongs to f of G means there exist two elements x and y belongs to G such that f of x is equal to x dash and f of y is equal to y dash. Consider x dash y dash inverse. X dash is f of x, we know, f of x into f of y inverse. That is f of x into f of y inverse. So using f is a homomorphism, f of x y inverse, we can write like this. F of x y inverse is belongs to f of G, right? Then if it is belongs to f of G means this left hand side x dash y dash inverse is also belongs to f of G. That is nothing but f of G is subgroup of G dash. Next, the theorem f from G to G dash is a homomorphism of a group G into G dash. Then H is a subgroup of G. Then f of h is a subgroup of g dash. We have to prove f of h is a subgroup of g dash. Here, h is subgroup, right? They have given f of h is a set in the form of f of small h. This is a homomorphism given function. Given the function f is a homomorphism. F of h is the set contains f of h such that for all h belongs to capital H. We know E belongs to H because H is a subgroup. Identity element obviously belongs to that set. F of E belongs to f of H. Right? Next, we prove that it is a subgroup. This indicates that f of H is non-empty. Next, consider the two elements H1 and H2 belongs to H. Then f of H1 is equal to H1 dash and f of H2 is equal to H2 dash. So here we consider H1 dash and H2 dash from f of H. The two elements from f of H. Then H1 dash into H2 dash whole inverse is equal to what we can write f of H1 into f of H2 whole inverse. F of H1 into f of H2 inverse we can write because using the theorem f of A whole inverse is f of A inverse also. And we can write this one as using the f is homomorphism f of H1 into H2 inverse. So here H1 and H1 into H2 inverse is belongs to H. It's a subgroup, therefore it belongs to H. So then f of H1 into H2 inverse is belongs to f of H. If it belongs to f of H means right hand side. The left hand side H1 dash into H2 dash inverse is also belongs to f of H. This is nothing but f of H is subgroup of G dash. Next, if G to G dash is f from G to G dash is a homomorphism from the group G into itself, and H is a cyclic group of G, then prove that f of H is also a cyclic group. Okay? H is a cyclic group which is generated by the element A. Consider like this. F of H is a subgroup of G because H is a cyclic subgroup of G, means f of H is a subgroup of G. We have to prove that f of H is a cyclic subgroup. Just we consider the two elements x and y. X. Okay? I consider an element from f of H such that there exists a y belongs to H such that x is equal to f of y. We have to prove this one is a cyclic subgroup. It has also a generator, right? Therefore, for all y belongs to H, y is equal to a power n because H is a cyclic subgroup and it is generated by A. Therefore, f of y is equal to f of a power n. So, applying the function on both sides, we have f of y is equal to f of a power n. So, here we have proved f of H is a cyclic subgroup. That is, it is also have a generator. Look here, f of y is equal to f of a power n. We come across a three case here, n is equal to 0 and n is equal to positive integer and n is negative integer. And we prove this f of a power n is equal to f of a whole to the power of n. That is nothing but this. F of H is some power of n of f of a. Therefore, look here, when n is equal to 0, f of a power 0 is equal to what we can write f of a whole to the power of 0, and this is f of e. That is, it's a f of a, it has some power. Look here, when n is positive integer, f of y is equal to f of a power n. We know a power n can be written as a into a into a into a up to n times. It is what we can write. This is n times. Next, to n times, right? And this can be written as f of a into f of a into f of a to n times because f is a homomorphism. And this can be written as f of a whole to the power of n, and this belongs to f of h. It is an element which has a power of n, right? F of a whole to the power of n. When n is negative integer, that is n is equal to minus m, f of y is equal to f of a to the power of n, that is equal to f of a to the power of minus m because n is m minus m. f of, this can be written as f of minus 1 to the power of m, f of a to the power of minus 1 we can write, whole to the power of m, and this is equal to f of a to the power of minus m. F of a to the power of minus m is n, f of a to the power of n. Thus we prove that every element of f of h is the sum power of n of f of a. Therefore, f of h is cyclic group generated by f of a. Therefore, f of h is a cyclic group. Thank you.